Hello everybody. Today I thought I would talk about how far to move, something that really tripped me up for a long time because I didn't realise or think about at the beginning that if I clicked and moved much too fast and too far, all the detail would be lost because the camera did not have the time to gather any information. I would be move, click, move really fast, and I'd be rushing because there wasn't much time. And so not only was I moving a long distance thinking that was the right thing to do, but I was moving really fast. And the poor camera, it had no time to see anything. It's like turning your head very, very quickly. You need time to be able to make the movement that you want to make to get your creative vision. Here's another thing to think about that really helps. Just imagine that this image, all of it, you're standing there with me looking at this exact scene, and all of it is wet paint. This is a canvas of wet paint, and this circle is our camera lens. And so when we look through it, the camera is a brush, and we're looking at a canvas of wet paint. So when you move, you take everything with you, because when you click here, look at how much information is on that sensor, on that lens. So when I move up this line here, everything is moving with me. So I don't need to move very far. This line here is the one I'm looking at. I don't need to move very far because if everything is in the sensor, as I start to move, all of it is going with me. So you often don't need to move as far as you think you do. So the gift of time, here is some of my thinking about you can move a short distance very quickly or a short distance very slowly. You can move and pause and stay there and never move again. Move, pause, and then off you go again. Or move a long distance but very, very slowly on a very long shutter speed. And it just goes on and on. There are so many different possibilities. So these two images, I'm sure you can see, taken exactly the same day, one after the other. And how different. And the reason they are different is nothing to do with my camera settings, because I'm guessing now, because this was a long time ago, I would have been on at least a second, because that's one of my favoured shutter speeds. So with this top one, I have at the same pace. I don't usually move very quickly. I sort of have this will be about my pace. Occasionally I'll do that, but it's rare. I use my breathing technique, which I've shared with you elsewhere, and I'm talking about more as we go forward. But coming across on the exhales as I breathe out, moving across the scene, that really helps me keep that lovely straight line, just swinging my body through, taking the camera with me. And I would have come to about here and paused. And that is why you can then see more detail. And then I would have come back the other way. And because everything is in my viewfinder, everything is affected. This one at the bottom, now this is a double exposure. So this person here is a second shot, but the rest of it is one image. So with this one, all I've done is I haven't stopped. I have just, on my same shutter speed, swung all the way through, just kept going until the shutter closed. But I haven't moved very fast because I've just picked up this information and dragged it all the way across the scene. We've just lost the detail. Let's just have a very quick look at a couple of my images, just so I can share with you how far I'm likely to have moved. So this one is a really good example of very little movement. This is in terms of distance. There's lots of movement, but not much distance. So I usually like to start somewhere around here, and all I've done is move up and come back down, and then rub and move up and come back down. That distance isn't very great. If it was, you would see a lot more stretch on these yacht masts and a lot more detail lost. And we can see that in the next one. So this is exactly the same place. The light's different because this is a different time of year. This is a summer's evening, whereas the previous one was early in the morning in the winter. So this one, the difference here, we can see we've lost a lot of detail from the yachts here because I have moved upwards and kept going. So my distance of travel is much further. I wouldn't have moved any faster to capture this. If I wanted to move further distance and I didn't have the time, I would rather have a longer shutter speed to create enough time to give me that distance of travel. With this one, again, I haven't moved far horizontally or vertically, so the distance isn't far. The shutter speed is the same, but I have just done lots and lots of this. And the same goes for this one. This is actually on the iPhone. So distance of travel, not very far, because if you think about planes of movement and motion, when somebody's moving away from you, that is not an upward motion and it's not a sideways motion. So following their movement for me is pushing in towards them as they walk away, pushing the camera out away from me to keep in the same plane of movement and motion. So pushing the camera out, arm's length would be the distance of travel for that one. So I hope that helps you out a bit, thinking about how far you might want to travel, maybe even answering a question if you're getting stuck and finding you're not quite getting the effect that you want right now. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye everyone.